Next question goes first to Tammy Frail. Allegheny County is a recipient of a P-TECH planning grant. Are you supportive of the P-TECH model or Pathways in Technology Early College High School program? Why or why not?
I am in favor of looking at preparing our students to be college and career ready. I do believe that use of technology is key. Technology is our future. We can't look past that, but we also have to consider that in our local area where our students are going to be going into college as well as to going into careers, that not everything is technology. So we do need to look at both. But I do think that I was, again, at the board meeting when they talked about the grant that was received and what good it was going to do for our community, as well as work together with Allegany College and Frostburg State to have our students have a path forward as early as high school to start to be prepared so that they have something to look forward to in our local area. And I think using grant money to do that and to build up our students, to give them something to look forward to is a wonderful thing, and we do need to continue it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Nick?
Well, I am 100% totally in favor of the P-TECH grant, and I think the way that it came about and where it was going to be utilized, the Career Center is going to be, they've already got the courses ready and set up for that. So I think that it's going to definitely benefit them, and I love the fact, like Tammy said, the collaboration between Frostburg State and Allegany College is only going to enhance the use of that grant. So I think that it's great that we get the technology out there. The college and career ready is what we're pushing most of our students for doing. But we also have to remember, I'm a huge proponent of the Career Center, and the fact that it is in the Career Center, or most likely where it's going to end up, for those computer courses and everything, those are hands-on people, and this is giving them an outlet and a way to actually have some funding there to help out with their studies. So I am total support of it, and I would love to see us get more of that, actually.
Thank you, Nick. Laura Lee?
Thank you. I really agree with Mr. Hadley in every single word he said. I think that this is a fabulous opportunity, and grant money can bring to Allegheny County programs and advantages for kids that maybe ordinarily they wouldn't have because the money wouldn't be available for them to have that. I think that in the past, grants have been a very integral part of the funding that we used in education, and I really think that grants are one of the best ways to look at additional funding for our county. The future of jobs is going to be in technology, so I think this P-TECH planning grant is just a win-win situation. I'm delighted that it's going to be at the Career Center also, because I think this will be a real boost to the Career Center and the whole community. I really am very pleased about it.
Thank you, Laura Lee. Next question, similarly to add on and expand the previous question, goes to Nick Hadley. How can we or should we better utilize the Center for Career and Technical Education? Are there other learning models we should be considering?
Well, I would love to see this become a 4-year school. I know that kind of is not something that's being looked at, and I believe it has been tried in the past and was not something that ever came to fruition. But as we move further and further into the community with the needs of technology, of local bricklayers or masonry programs or builders or anything of that nature, we're always going to need those people for the community. I think that if we had a 4-year school at the Career Center, that would allow them to not only enhance what they've already got for those 2 years that initially would be there, but they'd be able to start sooner. They'd be ready to go as soon as they're out the door, and that would equip them for the way of making a living for what they want to do. The Career Center does a great job right now with the programs that are out there. I know that we try to make everything possible. There was a wonderful business program that was implemented or was started and everything was ready to go. And I was very upset to see that happen, where it basically went downhill because they didn't have the enrollment. So I think what we need to do is make sure that kids know that first and foremost, if they want to be a bricklayer, that they can go to the Career Center. If they want to be an automotive detailer, they can go to the Career Center. And if they want to come back and play sports in their home school, they should be allowed to do that. Nothing should interfere with their schedules there. So we want to make sure that the kids know that every possibility for them is, if they want to trade, they can get there and do that, but they can also be part of their home school. Thank you, Stu.
Thank you, Nick. Laura Lee.
I think that the Career Center is actually the jewel of the school system. I think that in the past, and maybe to some degree even now, unfortunately, the Career Center is not necessarily appreciated, the opportunities there, and really given enough attention by not only the school system but the whole community. It's the one school that students can graduate from in the 12th grade and actually start their own business. And that is just an incredible opportunity for our kids, and especially kids who are gifted in the automotive area, or in carpentry, or any of the programs that the Career Center offers. I know that there are children in our school system that have special abilities in those areas that fit so nicely with what's being offered in the Career Center. I think that we all need to really emphasize the importance of this, support those programs, support the people in our community that support the Career Center, and highlight it more. I think it's definitely the jewel that people don't see necessarily shining to the degree that it does. So, I mean, I'm very supportive of the Career Center.
Thank you, Laura Lee. Tammy.
I agree with the other two candidates that the Career Center is a place where we can get the students ready to start jobs as soon as they graduate. I know that there is also, outside of just the trades that are at the Career Center, I know personally the law enforcement program that's out there, those individuals are able to go straight into the academies and be in law enforcement. So you're creating citizens of Allegany County that when they graduate, they can work in our county. And as Nicholas said, the trades, the building trades that are out there, the hope is that our economy continues to grow, and the county commissioners continue to bring in more jobs into the economy, and then we will have those people to build where we need to build. And we can also use those local resources rather than having to go outside to get those building individuals to work those. I think, though, as far as other learning models that need to be looked at, I do think that the Career Center is a subset of our student population. There's also a subset that doesn't do that, and we do need to also focus on them. I know that at the last school board meeting they talked about the park tests and the grades that were coming back at a state level, not at a county level yet, but to see that there are some students that may not be able to count back change to you, or to be able to do basic math. You need that as well. So we do need to consider the Common Core, so to speak, but not Common Core like everybody thinks of it, but more just, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s. We still need to do that, and I think the Career Center does a great job of that with those students. We need to also consider that in the schools outside of the Career Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Next question goes to Laura Lee Farrell first. Are our students career ready now? Why or why not?
Well, the standard that has been set across the nation and across the state and in Allegany County is that our students will graduate from high school either college or career ready. I think that sometimes that's filling a large bill. It's a big challenge. One of the things we just talked about was the Career Center, and we all agreed that the Career Center is a very valuable part of the educational system that is offered to children here. When you say, are children career ready? Well, I can't help but say once again that they do have such a good opportunity in Allegany County to be career ready by looking at what's being offered at the Career Center. And, that school and those programs really need to be supported by the superintendent, by the board members, by the community. We all talk about what a wonderful thing it is, but I really think in the last couple of years that the Career Center could have been maybe supported even more, and the kids encouraged to follow their ambitions in those areas that are offered there. So when you say, are our kids career ready? Well, I think we have wonderful opportunities for them to be career ready, and I think we need to continue to work at making the Career Center everything that it has the potential to be.
Thank you, Laura Lee. Tammy?
And I agree that we do have the potential. I think we do have some areas that and opportunities to make improvements, to be college ready. If you look at the college side of it, being able to get into a college and pass the entrance exams for a college, that's the key to being college ready. And I think we do need to look at that as well. Outside of the career side of it, those that are willing to or wanting to go to college, we need to make sure that they're ready to be able to enter those colleges and to work towards the degree that they want. From a career ready perspective, I agree that the Career Center is there to make that difference, and they are making that difference. I know, and hearing the statistics of those that are graduating and that go on to a job or go on to the trade that they're part of, that their rates are astronomical. I mean, those that make it to the Career Center are getting out of the Career Center and are career ready and are making careers for themselves. Like Laura Lee said, there's ones that are creating their own businesses and opening their own businesses for themselves. And then there's ones that are going into our local businesses and our local trades areas and making a difference in our community. And I think we need to focus on that. And we also, though, need to, again, focus on the college, those that are wanting to be ready for college as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Nick?
Well, I think career ready has to be broken down into two separate segments, and I think you've got those ones that the other two ladies have touched on, where you have the Career Center, where they go through a 2-year trade, or they go through the nursing program or the police program, and yeah, they come out of high school ready to jump into the workforce. They're ready to go. We have such great teachers that care about their students at the Career Center, that they take an interest in what these kids are learning. Not just that they're sitting there that they want to learn, but they're actually teaching them and they're learning. So yes, they are career ready. They're ready to go out and start laying those bricks, as I've said before. They're ready to go out and work in the hospitals. But I think the other side is we have some majorly great intelligent students that take AP courses, that take the college courses, that set them up that they are ready to pretty much go out and be career ready as well. They could go out and start their small business, as Tammy said. They can go out and do pretty much anything. So I think we have the two different spectrums. There's always going to be other people that, may not necessarily be up to par, but I think the curriculum and the fact that we have such caring teachers, that they're going to push the students to be career ready, and those that may have never thought they could go to college, I think they're getting pushed to that level as well, where now they realize, you know what, I can go to college. And I think that is to be, something that's commended for the teachers and the staff of all of the schools. So career ready, for the most part, yes. I think we're ready to go.
Thank you, Nick. This is our final question prior to closing remarks. This question will go to Tammy Fraley. Governor Hogan recently issued an executive order mandating that all public schools in the state not open for students prior to Labor Day, and that all classes for the school year conclude no later than June 15th. What is your opinion of the executive order and its effect on the school calendar?
I believe that local school boards should be responsible for building their calendars. They have a vested interest in understanding their own area and what works best for their schools. I do believe, though, that starting after Labor Day is okay, but you do have to look at the snow days. Last year we were lucky, and the number of snow days or the weather was not as bad as it has been years in the past. So, we ended school about the same time that we'll end school under a new calendar if we are doing that. But then again, you're going to have one of those times where we're out of school for 3 weeks straight because the snow's 18 inches up and we don't have any way to get to school. So I think, though, that I know that the school board just recently put out a draft calendar both ways of what the impact could be if you have the old school calendar and the new school calendar. And I think looking at it, the challenging part is that you have to have so many days that you're educating our students. And with part of what's being done by starting after Labor Day and trying to build in snow days, you have days where you have to do half days because a half day counts as a whole day, sort of. But for our students, that they don't learn in those days. I think making half days is more of, checking the box that we had that many days, but we need to be able to provide quality education. So part of that needs to be that the local systems have at least some input of what their calendar would be and the possible need to go beyond June 15th maybe, or start just a little bit earlier. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Nick?
I love the idea of starting after Labor Day and getting out by June 15th. The unfortunate reality is that if we look back 2 years ago, with all of the snow days that would have been out there, the kids would have been getting out around July 4th. So I think it's impossible to put that ending date at June 15th. However, it's really up in the air as to these waivers that are put out there. Is it going to be a waiver that allows us to start early? Is it a waiver to get rid of some of these snow days? Or is it a waiver that's going to allow us to stop, or go after the 15th of June? My biggest concern is if we are actually putting a start date and an end date and everything has to be in there, that we're going to lose educational days for our students. And that's going to be hurting the students with not only the education that they're supposed to be getting, but also the testing is going to be backed, it's going to be backed up. They're not going to have as much time. So I would like to be supportive of it, but I just don't think it's something that's practical. I don't think we can get the 180 days in. In our little region here, everybody knows that snow is a big problem. So I don't think that that's something that we can say is going to work out. And as far as the extra income that's coming in, I know the biggest thing is, okay, people can go to Ocean City, people can go to Garrett County and enjoy the outdoors a little bit more and spend more money, but nothing says that the teachers are going to start after Labor Day. So the teachers are going to be in school. So the teachers that have, students or kids, they're not going to be out spending money anyway. So I'm not sure if there's going to be an economic advantage. I love the idea. I just don't think it's practical, and I think it's going to hurt our students in the long run.
Thank you, Nick. Laura Lee?
I believe that there needs to be some flexibility concerning the calendar, and I will explain that in more detail. I understand that not only in Maryland, but many other states, there's a 180-day requirement for students to be in school. I actually spoke to my 86-year-old mother who lives in Northern California about this and asked her, how things worked in their school system. And she gave me some very interesting information that I'd like to pass on because I think it really impacts this whole situation. Then the county that she lives in, which is a very impoverished county, it happens to be the pear capital of the United States. Their greatest income comes from the growth and shipment of pears. So even though the rest of California starts earlier than this county in particular, Lake County, they start 2 weeks later than the rest of California because the students are an important part of sorting the pears. The pears are so critical to the economy of this county. And I think maybe that was part of what we were looking at in this situation about starting school 2 weeks later. I think for Ocean City and for Deep Creek Lake, though that income from Labor Day is very important to the county. I think that this is going to be tweaked as we go along. I don't think that all of this is just going to be written in stone. I think that the counties will look at their calendars and be able to just adjust some of their vacation days. I do think that school should never, ever go past the 15th of June because the teachers are tired, the kids are tired by the end of May, and so, there's still some flexibility here that needs to be necessary.
Thank you, Laura Lee.
Thank you.
It's now time for closing remarks. We will start with Nick Hadley.
Well, I have to say that, when we're looking at a candidate for the Board of Education, I've appreciated the support that I've had in the past 4 years, and I would like to consider or have you consider your support again for another 4 years. The experience is on my side. I have a vested interest already there with the programs that we've already started. I want to see them come to fruition. I want to see them continue to flourish. I want to see what's already started come to an end. But I also have to say that when it comes to programs, I'm going to support those programs. I'm going to say, let's do this program for this kid that needs the extra masonry credit or that they need something for graduating, purposes. We definitely need to make sure that all of our students are equipped and ready to go out and be college and career ready. And I think that's what the school system, myself included, is promoting and working toward. I'm going to give a cheesy little thing that says a vote for Hadley is a vote for your child, because it is our students that are benefiting from the school system that's there now, and they're benefiting from what I have kind of helped through the last 4 years put into place. So I just want to thank you for your time, Stu, and the Chamber of Commerce for putting this on. And I just want to ask, go out and vote on the 8th of November. Thank you,
Nick. Laura Lee?
In my closing remark, I'd like to say that I'm running for election to the Board of Education because I care about the school system and I want it to be very successful. It's a people organization. It's about the greatest asset that they have, and that is their employees. And it is about people's children and doing everything that we can do that's in the best interest of the children. I think that every decision the board makes needs to be made in the best interest of the children. I really don't think that that is currently being done. We touched on finance, we touched on other issues, but one of the things that we didn't talk about today was the morale in the school system. It's my understanding that the morale is very, very low. I've had a lot of employees talk to me about the fact that they love their job, but it's hard to get up in the morning and come to work. I think that there needs to be new leadership in the school system. I think that after 8 years, it will be 8 years come this July, that Dr. Cox has been the superintendent of the school system. It'll be time for new leadership. I think that there are issues as far as communication, working with the county, that the finance, that are need to change. And I think for that to happen, we need to have new leadership. I will say that because we have had the superintendent for 8 years and the money's low, the morale is low, the student test scores are low, the communication is low, that I, if I'm elected, will not sign another 4-year contract for Dr. Cox because I think that new leadership is needed at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura Lee. Tammy?
I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and for putting on this forum. I think it's a great opportunity for us to be able to voice to the community why we're running for the board. My main purpose of running for the board, like I stated before, is to be a parent's voice. having children in the school system, one that started in 5th grade, who's now a senior in college, and one that is currently in 1st and 5th grade. I want to see the school system continue to be able to provide quality education. My son that graduated, that is in college, is at a 4-year college and is doing a wonderful job. And it was because of his educational system that he had here. I want to be able to ensure that we continue to be able to provide that quality education, but also make sure that it is a safe and secure environment for our students. I believe that the teachers and the teacher assistants and the administration, they are a wonderful asset to this community. They have made differences in children's lives every day, and I believe we need to provide them the opportunity to do the best at their job. I think that we also, with having a quality education, we can make a difference in our economy for Allegany County as a whole. So if elected, again, I would love to be able to be your voice in the community, and I will strive to ensure that with the background that I have in business, that we do look at the financial aspect as well as the communication and ensure that we think outside the box. So please go out on November 8th and vote, make a difference in your community, and vote for Tammy Fraley. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. In closing, I would like to thank our candidates for Board of Education, Laura Lee Farrell, Tammy Fraley, and Nick Hadley. I am Stu Zapsky, and on behalf of the Allegany County Chamber of Commerce, its Board of Directors, I do want to thank you for your participation today. This process is very important to inform the voters of Allegany County. And I, too, would also like to encourage all of our voting members to vote. Early voting begins on October 27th and closes on November 3rd. And, of course, the election is on November 8th. And lastly, but not sure as heck not least, I would like to thank Chuck Dickin, WFWM, and Frostburg State University for providing the studio, and for John Bone, his students, and Allegheny College of Maryland for providing our video today. This is a great collaboration of our higher ed, and the Chamber of Commerce greatly appreciates it, and the community should too. So again, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.